Okay. So another channel or format of communication is emails. An email is just an abbreviation for electronic mail. Okay. So this is also a formal way of communicating, and it also has a format. What are the features of an email that you are familiar with? Features of an email. Yes, it's supposed to have a subject, similar to a letter, isn't it? A body, okay. You can put your own salutation or you can automate it, okay. Do you know how to do that? Perhaps in one of our practicals, we need to try that. If you hold a certain position, you are sending an email each time, you don't have to be introducing yourself, okay, in your salutation, whereby you put your name, your phone number, your designation, and what. Those things can be automated, okay? So an email offers the business a near instant format to convey message, transfer documents, or any other information within or outside the organization. So this can be both internal or an external communication within an organization. So one of the features of an email is that you can send a message to multiple recipients. Right? You can also blind copy someone. You know what that means? To blind copy. Okay, so assuming you have a case with someone, right? You are building a case. Okay, someone owes you money. Okay, but then you are trying all your means to make it up to that person, isn't it? So you send them a reminder. This is a gentle reminder about that money. Okay, maybe a person is replying to you in a certain way that is not good, or maybe they're just silent. You send several reminders. You can send a blind copy to your lawyer. Okay, so the message is addressed to you, but there can be a third party who is blind copied. When I'm sending to you, you will not know that that message is also copied to someone. Yeah, all you see that on that email is your address. Okay, so when you go in court, your lawyer knows everything. Okay, no, there's been several attempts. These are the messages and whatnot. Okay, so those are some of the features that an email has. Social media can also be a format for communication. So these allow organizations to create websites or fan pages and develop a following of customers. So businesses are able to convey important company information through these networks. If you have a shop, for example, that sells ICT equipment, okay, one of the ways of making people know what you do is through social media, isn't it? You can create a page, okay? You create a page and then you post whatever it is that you are selling. You might not have followers at its inception. Okay? So what do? You can boost your page or whatever it is that you're advertising. For example, maybe you want to have an outreach of 5,000 people. Okay, so you pay to Facebook and then you are able to boost and get followers. Okay, some organizations, some companies, some businesses have websites. Okay, so a website is just like a one-stop area which has all the information relating to your organization. Are we clear on social media? Oh yeah. And then we have online chat. Online chat. So these are added to websites to allow organization take advantage of individuals viewing the company's website and present a response system to customers. Okay. So you can load it with frequently asked questions. Right? Instead of you, maybe you want to access something within outside working hours, you can navigate the frequently asked questions. Okay. These days, these online chats, they are embedded with artificial intelligence. Okay. So whatever you ask, it will be as if you are talking to a person, or in actual fact, it's just a machine that is responding to you. Right? Are we clear on the communication formats and media? All right, and then we can look at the key managerial interaction skills and communicating in small groups. What are the key managerial interaction skills that will set you apart from others? Okay. Here we are saying that what sets the most successful managers apart from others. You might be an expert in your field, even the smartest person in the room, but that's no guarantee of success of whatever project or anything that you are reading will be successful. So you need to have certain skills that are well suited for you to be a manager. So there are a few recommendations that we have. Before we go there, what do you think are some of the managerial skills that you need to have? You take yourself as a manager. What about communication skills? You need to be able to articulate issues properly. Now, whatever message you are conveying, if you are a manager, you are sending out instructions to your team. So if you don't communicate properly, usually you don't succeed in whatever mission you are trying to accomplish. So the first skill is that you need to be a strategic thinker. Uh-oh. So you need to be a strategic thinker. What is a strategy? Ever heard of the word strategy? Hmm? Gracious. What do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, I should say in the next 5 to 10 years, where do you want yourself to be? You want to be married, of course. No, we'll see. We'll see. You're joking, my friend. I, aside that, being a successful man. Okay, Gracious, he says that in 5, 10 years from now, he wants to be a successful man. Now, to get there, what is it that you are going to do to be a successful person? You try to invest in yourself. How? Huh? Griffin, so now I called you. Yes, and then a lady answers me. Nino ya nino. What happened? Oh, someone sent me your contact. Anaitumiza ngati gringo. Ya 09. Huh? Anyway. Ndisakhala lenda kukhobolaso tukwachiso. Eh? So, Bwana Griffin, where do you see yourself in 10 years, 5 years? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So, in order to get there, what is it that you're going to do? Because you're saying you're going to support your family, right? So, in other words, whatever questions I'm asking here is to do with strategic thinking, right? So, I asked, what is a strategy? It's a long-term plan, eh? Okay. So it's a plan of action that is designed to achieve certain goals, within a long period of time. Okay? He said he wants to be a successful man, though he wasn't specific. Okay? But surely, what you're doing here is one of the steps, and then thereafter, maybe you can engage in businesses. But with businesses, it needs capital, so you need to look for a job, okay, or find a sponsor who can give you a kickstart, yeah, and then thereafter you build your business, isn't it? Okay, you give it 5 years. You don't just start business and then you start eating the proceeds right away. Then you will not grow the business, yeah. So that's thinking part. Griffin says that he wants to get married, to have a child. support his family. That also has to do with income, isn't it? Yeah, perhaps the child, I will not talk much about it. You cannot be strategic, eh? You need a what? Capital to find a girlfriend? No. Fundo, eh? Yeah. So that's what a strategy is. So you, as a manager, you are supposed to be a strategic thinker. Okay. You need to set your priorities that are aligned with your major goals. You also need to learn new and sometimes scary things. In other words, you need to be able to adapt to change management. Okay? Because as you plan, things might change it. Okay? When political parties are campaigning for themselves, they will talk all sorts of good things. Eh? We'll do this for you, fertilizer, you buy 4,000, what. But what you don't know is the world economy has its own dynamics. Okay? Yeah, something might change. Will you be able to cope with that? All right. You need to have collaboration skills. What is to collaborate? In order to achieve a common goal, right? Yeah, that is what collaboration is. If you can't work with others, then the element of collaboration won't be there. Okay, and you cannot lead a team. Okay, so there are some barriers which affect collaboration. One of them is distance, then you have dominance, discomfort, then dissonance. Okay? How do you think distance is a barrier of communication? Do you all share the same sentiments? There we are saying that stay on the radar with people you don't see regularly. So we're griefing a weekend got the manager or NBS bank, okay? To stay on top of the radar, how are you going to achieve it? Yeah, as you know, NBS in my branch and Bilimbili, it can be from Sanje to Chitipa, okay? That's where the use of ICT comes in it, okay? You cannot be everywhere, okay? But your presence has to be everywhere. So you arrange meetings using online platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, and others, Skype, okay? That's how you stay on the ladder. Or you can use your management information system software, that is, okay? Anyone who works in a bank here or who has worked in a bank before? So there's a software which they use it for starting with transaction processing systems, decision support systems, executive support systems, management information systems. Okay? Ugalo apa bank tera buja, there is ama use amati T24 and T-Chan system yao, right? That's where they start punching in whatever deposits and withdrawals, right? As a manager, amangoona graphic of a summary of whatever is happening. So I will check out, okay, let me look at the branches in the southern region. The system will be able to give him an update. Okay, ma withdrawals apangidwa mwakuti, overage apangidwa mwakuti, my payments and what have you, my deposits, china chilichonse. Okay, in that way they stay on top of the radar. Okay, distance does not limit them. It doesn't mean kuti uchoke ku headquarters kaili kulilongo kuno, you have to go in Sanje ukaone dzimafailo kuti lero kuti kumeneko dzimaenda bwanji, then you travel all the way. There'll be time wastage, yet. Then there's dominance. Change assumptions about the importance, surveying of certain roles in your organization. Change the assumption about the importance. In other words, usamaphekese ntchito azinzako. Okay? Be it a cleaner, umanje pesa kuti iwe suti ndinofunikira kwenikweni. Okay? Remove them, that's when you see kuti phindu lake limakhala yakuti. We said an organization is a set of people that work together to achieve a common goal, isn't it? Yeah. So if you remove certain components of the system, then something is ought to give. All right. Discomfort, educate yourself and your staff about the work of others. Why is this important for you as a manager to educate yourself about the work of others? I say it's kind of maybe so if you know how yeah. Mainly also is for you to be able to be making realistic demands, right? Okay. Like for example, the people who are in the IT department, maga those who are in the development area. Okay. For others, they might think kuti programming is easy. Can you do a system that does ABC? Probably we want it maybe by tomorrow it should be working. But you don't know that. Just because you don't know what happens, that cannot be realistic when you tell the programmers that that is what you want. Because whatever code that they will be doing there might affect other systems. Okay? As a result, something that was meant to be done in 1 week, you find that months you are still struggling with it. Okay? Just because there's lack of understanding in what goes on in order to upgrade the system. Okay? Yeah. And also, remember, as a manager, you're supposed to be a coach. Okay? In other words, you need to know all the jobs that are assigned to your team. Okay? As you likely said, when someone is sick, you should be able to train someone. Okay? This is what is expected of you, ABC. Right? Then there's dissonance. Check your demands and systems to make certain there aren't undercutting collaboration. Do you know what dissonance is? Dissonance. lack of harmony in between things, right? Let's say tukupanga ndopeza kuti ena akuimba chuni china ena china. There is lack of harmony, right? Similarly, in a team, if you agree something, guys, let us do this, you find others doing the contrary, there is no harmony there. Okay, the first thing that will be affected is your collaboration. As it, these people don't collaborate. Okay, you are not doing the same things. For example, now you're in third year, first semester, second, in January, that's when you'll be in your first. Yeah, you'll be doing your research shortly. Okay, and your research, you usually makandi seminar. Okay, so in that seminar, they will be brief you how you write a proposal. Okay, and they will give you a guideline on the steps that you need to follow. Okay, now you find that when it's time for you to present, you are presenting something different from what was agreed. Okay, even your supervisor is stunned. To the panelist, what does it entail? Ndoti well, you are not collaborating. Okay, ndoti either chinthu chonango chimmatula pena pake and then you submitted. You just edited your name and something, you don't even know what it is. Okay, you can't even follow the format that you are given. Okay. Another skill is emotional intelligence. Do you know what emotional intelligence is? Emotional intelligence. In other words, this is self-awareness, right? Self-awareness and awareness of other people's feelings, right? Yeah. So as a manager, you need to have this emotional intelligence. You need to gauge, okay? Why is my team not performing? Welcome basketball. What are the areas that you look at? Okay? You find people, they go in the field, not even attacking. They are demotivated by something, right? We didn't provide you food, transport endere yake tilango kumana wakuti. Okay, when there are, you need first aid kits and whatnot, my uniform and whatnot. If those things are not provided, obviously people will not be happy. Yeah, and if it's a professional journey, kama allowances that are given. So you go to South Africa to play football. They promise you to give you allowances. You go there, you're not given anything. Okay, you as a manager, and if you act like you don't care, what will happen? Okay, but obwera match in other to literally ukana or we are not playing. Okay. So as a leader, people have to earn your trust. Yeah, someone who is a shoulder to lean on it. You need to be a critical thinker. So we're saying that critical thinking is the ability to think in an organized and rational manner in order to understand connection between ideas and facts. It helps you to decide what to believe in. In other words, it's identifying, analyzing, and fixing flaws in the way we think. So as a manager, you need to be an independent thinker. Carefully check with your own biasness before making a decision. And this has to be done automatically to make decisions quick. In other words, you need to separate what are facts and hearsays. Do not base your decisions on gossip. Okay? Gossip can be true or it can be false. Office umakhala my experts. Okay? They will lie about you at the boss. And if you don't check your facts, you might be making decisions that are wrong based on things that are neither here or there. Okay? But whatever decisions that you make, they should be based on facts. Munthu samagwira ntchito sapanga zakuti, and then you check their appraisals and whatever information that you can have, and then you'll be able to make your decisions based on that. Are we clear on critical thinking? She mentioned about communication skills. Okay. And they said that here is the ability to convey information to another person effectively, be it verbal or non-verbal communication. So if you don't communicate effectively, then you get in the way of the success of your team. In other words, you need to give clear instructions to your fellow members so that the work can be done effectively. All right. You need to have motivation skills. What is motivation? Motivation is what? Something that what? Yeah. We can call it a stimulus, right? Something that stimulates you to act or behave in a certain way. Okay? That is what is called motivation. If you are playing in a team, there are people that will be giving morale, right? That motivates you, right, to work harder, isn't it? If you do a certain task diligently, your effort should be able to be recognized, okay, by your manager or managers, okay? That's why if you go to certain organization, they'll put a picture okay, a picture frame of an employee of the year, that motivates you to work even harder, or it also motivates others, okay, that when I do well, this is what it comes with several rewards. You talk of promotions and whatnot, okay. Those are part of the incentives that come with motivation. But as a manager, if you tell others, ino ndio tinangokulembera nikungoti tinaumvera ni chisoni, honestly, that completely demotivates someone, right? Yeah. So when they are doing their work, they will not put in their 100%. After all, I'm not appreciated. Okay. Feedback. In other words, as a manager, you should be able to give feedback to your subordinates or to your team members. Because whatever is done, they report back to you, isn't it? Yeah, so you should be able to tell them whether what they did, they're doing it correctly, or if there is need for improvement. Tough conversations. As a leader, do not avoid tough talks. Okay? Learn to face such conversations head on. Be able to address challenges and problems early and often. Do not wait for problems to turn into something big. Okay? Mugakhala in a group of people, mumaona where mavuto akamayamba when it's brewing. Okay, but if you sit on them, something very small can end up becoming big. Yeah. So you need to be able to address such issues when they're just developing. If the company, the organization is not performing well, be honest enough. In that how would that, but be honest enough. Ladies and gentlemen, our company is not doing well. So as a result, we're going to retrench some stuff. That is not good news to deliver it. Okay, but you have to. Okay. Otherwise, ukamachita manyazi, no, and does it chani. At the end of the day, the company will become bankrupt and then you close it. Yeah. More especially if you run businesses, they are not doing well, retrench people, okay, or put people that are going to help you. Doesn't matter whether that person is a relation or is a friend, okay. As a leader, you can develop bonds with your fellow team members, okay. But when something happens, be in the forefront in addressing it. Otherwise, when you sit on it, then it becomes a problem. Coaching. Okay, let's just break for 5 minutes. I might have left my phone somewhere. Okay. I think on coaching, I already talked about it when I was explaining about collaboration. Okay. You need to know the work of others, first of all. Right? That is why in banks, before you are made to be a manager, okay, right? So that you know the processes of the bank. Okay. Yeah. So when people are doing their work, okay, okay, you should not be in the forefront in telling them, no, just bring it to me. I think I'll do it myself. In that way, a person cannot learn, isn't it? Okay. But if you see that there is a lack of capacity, you need to build that capacity. Okay. You can arrange for trainings, okay, or accompaniment. In that way, you ensure that your coaching skills are enhanced. Making values visible and viral. So in whatever you do, people have to know what you stand for. Okay? If people don't know what you stand for, then certain things tend to erupt. For example, there are certain offices that, for example, to do with procurement. Okay? They would say ngatufuna deal kuti itheke ukumane ndawo, but if you meet that person, nothing will happen. Okay? Why is that so? Why are people making a reference to someone and then refusing you to meet someone if you want to do a collapsed deal? Let's say if you hold a procurement position, because that's what you have made people believe in it. Those are the values that are visible to the people. Ngati pali madiru awazima katheka. Okay? Ukapita kwawa, no, they will go by the book. Okay? So as a manager, you have to make people know what you stand for. Okay? In other words, you are supposed to have integrity. What do we mean by having integrity? When we say that this is a man of integrity, what do we mean? Someone who does the right thing, isn't it? Who is not involved in cutting corners, isn't it? We say that that person is a person of integrity. With integrity, it brings along trust and other benefits. Right? Yeah. So people have to know what your values are, okay, and they have to be visible. Are we clear on that? All right, we move to business data communication. Is this necessary? Okay. Well, these other things you can just read on your own about the invasions that happened from 1837 up to date. But perhaps we can talk a brief history about the internet as part of business communication. So internet started somewhere in 1969 and it was originally called ARPANET. Okay, so it was a military academic network in the United States. Okay, and in 1983 MUNET was introduced, which was a split of it, and it was used for academic education and research purposes only for the military. Then in 1986, NSFNet, created as a US internet backbone. By internet backbone, do you know what this means? Those of you that we have taught each other, you remember what a network is? Kiso, do you remember what a network is? Suna koza 90. 100. Do you know what a network is? What is a network? An interconnection of computers, right? Okay. And we said that a network is divided into how many parts? Two, right? A local area network and wide area network. We'll talk about it also later on, right? Local area network being an interconnection of computers within a small geographical area, right? Whilst wide area network an interconnection of computers over a wide geographical area. Okay? Now, there are channels of communication which enable you to have these networks. Okay? So you have wireless channels and wired channels, right? We talk about let me see if I'm not jumping the gun. No, I'm not. Okay, I can talk about it. Huh? Yeah, so there are channels of communication that these computers use on a network. Okay? So we said there are wired and wireless technologies. Okay? On wireless, you have things like Wi-Fi. Okay? Things like infrared, things like Bluetooth. Okay? All those form wireless connectivity or wireless network set. On wired, you have things like fiber optic cable and twisted pair cables, right? Okay, these also form communication channels on the network. Now, for all these networks, right? You can have a local area network here at University of Lilongwe. You can have another network at Bambino. You can have another network, let's say, at FTH Bank, another network at MRA, okay, local area networks. All these networks will need a link, okay, where all the information will be traveling, okay, from one place to another, okay. Take an example of an M1 road If I want to go to Egypt, obviously I need to go on the M1 net. It will take me anywhere, all parts of Africa, isn't it? Okay. But there are feeder roads surrounding it. Like here, which means I need to use the local roads around area 15. Okay. Which will take me to the highway. Okay, the M1 net. Similarly to a network, you have all these local area networks attached to it. All those end up in the internet backbone. Mostly they use fiber optic cables, okay, which are provided by MTL. Okay, so those form as a backbone network. So you can have several service providers, Sky Band, TNM, Airtel, what. All of them, they join to this backbone network. Or take an example of yourself. Okay. If you are hurt on the leg, there'll be a message which will go to the brainnet that somewhere something is not okay, which is a highway for messages. Your backbone net, your spine net. Yeah, so that's what we mean by internet backbone. So in the 90s, they started commercializing this internet through government funding. Okay, and in the early 2000s, there were an estimation of 40 million servers and 40 million users. 400 million users. The growth has been rising steadily, okay, for internet users. So now we are in the commercial age of internet. Okay. Now, for you to be on the internet, there are certain protocols that you need to follow. Protocol maiziwe ndondomeko. Okay. Yeah. So in the first place, for a computer to be on a network, it has to be identified. In other words, it's supposed to have a unique identification. Okay. What is this unique identification called, Griffin? How are computers identified on a network? Toko, bwana VP. You remember what I said about IP address? So a computer is identified by an IP address on the network. So an IP address is a set of numbers that are separated by dots. So it looks like this. There might be several formats, 192.168.1.1, okay? This can represent a computer on the network. So if you are connected to the internet, just know that your phone or whatever gadget you are using will be assigned a unique number for identification. That's why when you are sending things viral, you need to be careful, because whatever you send has a digital footprint. You can track it from its origin. If I create something, I pass it on to a group, and in the group there's you. If the security agencies get it, they can be able to track it. Or there are what we call virtual private networks that mask your identity. Okay? Do you know why robbers, they don't go in a bank with their face wide open? They need to disguise themselves, right? So they put on a mask that you are left wondering. Okay? So on a network, there are also those techniques. You use what is called, you mask yourself. Okay? Yeah. But if you're a novice person who don't know those things, you get caught. Sisi tengaso hawis. Okay? So an IP address would look like what I've just shown you it. Now, for you to remember such addresses, it can be ambiguous. Similarly, if I were to say Gracious Tanduze Manambala 10, I'm phone Bukumagu, will you be able to? At least 3. Yajitatu also you would hardly remember it or you follow it. 10. Okay. Okay. If you can it, out of 10 it, only one person will be able to do that. If I say 20, no, right? Okay. But if I say, can you mention 30 or 20 names in your contact, with ease you'll be able to do that, right? All right. So when they're formatting these identification numbers, they had to put a system that would make you easily remember a device on a network than that number was showing you. That is why in your phone book, if I say Chiso, what is my number? Okay. Comma, if I say, do you have Bob in your contacts? Obviously you have it, yeah, but the number you cannot remember it, isn't it? No. Okay. What you'll be dialing on your contact, it will be the name, which will have a number attached to it. So my IP address, they work in a similar fashion. They developed what is called a domain name system. So instead of you remembering 192.72.janjan, you just said www.google.com. But underneath that Google, you have that IP address. Zumvele, with also the scenario mwenda obasani, right? So that is a format that you use when you want to access other computers on the network. So you say World Wide Web dot the name of the company dot the type of industry it belongs to. If it's a .com, it means that that's a commercial site. If it's an education site, it will be .edu, which is full. Now we use .ac, which stands for academic. If it's a government website, it will have .gov. If it's an organization, .org. If it's an internet service provider, it will be .net. Okay? What you are saying is, address I'm searching for this computer, which is on the World Wide Web, that's the internet. Okay? It belongs to this company. If you say Gmail, obviously it belongs to Google. .com, which is a commercial site. Okay? Or I'm searching for a computer which is held by University of Lilongwe. So just put unilil.sc, which is an academic institution. .mw, that's what is called a high-level domain, okay, which specifies where that company resides or where that computer resides, or server imene country. So if it resides in Malawi, at the end of the address it will be .mw, .co or .com.mw. If it's in UK, it will be .uk. Australia, so on and forth. Why it is that? For easy searching of servers or information. Okay? For you to be on the internet, there are three basic hardware components that are needed. So you have the server, the client, and the circuits. Okay? A server, this is a computer that responds to client needs on the network. This is a computer that responds to client needs on the network. Client, these are computers that seek services from a server. Circuits, these are communication channels for client and servers to connect. Now, for you to be a client, there are softwares that enable you to be a client. Okay? One of it is a browser. So you have a browser on your machine. You can be able to search other computers using a browser. Okay? So you put www.facebook.com. Okay? Then it starts to search. The search engine starts to search. Is this computer available? If it's available, then the computer called Facebook has to respond, isn't it? I'm here. Who are you? Who are you? Is going to come as a landing page whereby you are supposed to authenticate yourself. Once you have put your credentials, then you log in it. If the credentials are not successful, it will tell you either your name or your password is incorrect. Try again. Okay? That's the server responding. But if you are successful, then it will start loading your page, what other people's pages. That's a server, right? And then you start searching the things that you are looking for. Circuits, we just said these are communication lines that connect a client and a server computer. Examples of circuits that you know? What connects clients and servers? We mentioned it, right? Fiber optic, right? There is wired and wireless connectivity. Okay. Now, there are devices that are required for you to connect to other networks. Okay. Ever heard of a router? Router. If you're using TTNA, Mamati MiFi, there are several, but all in all, they are routers. Okay, so a router is just a device that enables you to connect to other networks. Yes, a switch. What does a switch do? Madam, do you know what a switch is? Have you seen it before? Yes, it is. Okay, so this is an electrical switch, but here we are talking about networks. You might have, but maybe you don't know what it is. Let me. So a network switch looks like this. Okay. So that device, they come in several types. That's one of the essential devices that is needed for you to have a network. Okay. I was talking about the router. Okay. The router is what connects you to other networks. Okay. From the router, some routers have wireless capabilities where you can join there, but maybe it can have a maximum of 10 users. Okay. But if you want to expand your network, ndo tumatenga cable imozi umairumigiza pa switch ipo. So any other computer that is connected to that switch is connected to a network. Even without the router, if you just want a local area network, makompyuta momu nazi onanet. For example, we have our digital library. We can access the digital library. Okay, once you're connected to any of the Wi-Fi's here, my Wi-Fi they are connected to that. Okay, that enables us to be on a local area network. If we need internet, ndeuti Starlink generation indika router kake imafikira pati pamenepo, then from there my right? What connects there are now the cables. We talked about the twisted pair cable. It looks like this. This is a twisted pair cable. Okay, though mugamaona cable, it just looks like this one looks better. This is the cables that you connect your laptops or desktops. Okay, but inside it there are cables that are twisted. That socket. Okay, that's what carries the data from one computer to the other. That is if you're using wired. And these are the ones that you connect to the switch, then to your computer. Okay. Madam, we stop here or we continue? Haya, chiso aliso tuongezere jana 30 minutes. Edi chiso. Abwana. All right, so this is where we end today's class. Bwana Gracious, you can stop it.